a barth in this episode because me and Amatis haven't shown you guys that car yet, but instead, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be working on the Mustang a little bit. So, I never really introduced this car. You guys just seen it when I've been doing little pulls and going to Starbucks. This isn't gonna be the video where I do a walk around on what's done to it and introducing it. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be changing out the starter. If you saw, I had to push it in here, and that's because this old starter is no good. And the headers heat soak the fuck out of it and ruin it. So, so I got the old starter out. Here's the old one. It's nice and big, which is no good. That's why we're having issues with the car starting, because it's getting heat soaked from the headers. And here's the aftermarket one. It's a lot lighter, a lot stronger, and a lot smaller. So hopefully this is not gonna give us any issues. But what we're gonna do is we're also gonna wrap it in some starter heat shield, so that's good. Now, this is one I bought off eBay. It was cheaper, and I have to do some modification to the starter because they sent the wrong connector types. I got to turn this to like an O-ring type. But all that's required to do was to take the starter wire and the power wire from the battery, move those on the same side, and then that wire I just showed you, I put that on this side, and yeah, that should be it. So I'll get all that wiring done and I'll have it installed. All right, so the new starter's in. The wiring over here is all wired up the way it should be, and new starter's down here. Let's see if I can get a visual. Right there, it's all covered in like a heat protectant. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the battery on a charger because it's dead, and then I can test the starter. Once I'm done with this, currently waiting on a 133G amp alternator, to arrive. And then we're gonna do the wiring to get a bigger alternator, and this thing should be running mint. So yeah. All right, so the next day, starter works, it cranks over. We're gonna put the wheels on and take it to a drive to Starbucks. See how she handles, see if she starts after being warmed up, because that's our biggest issue.
Do we have a jump pack?
I don't think we need a jump pack. We'll just bring jumper cables, but I believe in it. I believe in it, but if I believe in it and you don't believe in it, then it works. Exactly. There we go. It's like positive and negative, like electrons. Like, you know, like positive attracts to negative, negative attracts to positive. But so you have positive, it doesn't work, and then you have negative, it doesn't work. So, yeah, there we go.
Quick maths.
Yep. I have to fucking push the Mustang in because I got it started once, right, with the juice. And then it fucking died, and I tried starting it again, and it was like 12 volts, not the 12.5 that it wanted. I'm like, fuck! But, yeah.
Where is breaker bar for this?
Breaker bar? It was laying down, but I'm gonna tell you right now that the bolts were not tightened that well.
Oh, I know.
Before.
I told you that. When we drove to Belmar, I was like, you know, I never torqued them.
Yo, what the fuck?
I told you that.
Oh, good thing we didn't do any dumb shit. Fuck, don't forget we're only 4 lug and not even 5. We can't afford to break a whole lug. Oh, look at this. I have leftover zip tie. Hopefully I do not melt the wire on headers because I did not do that. It's okay. We got a new wire with this cap. Yeah? We short out the starter. And then give it a bad review.
I'm in the big leagues. Told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston. Ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog. Like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwing the fastball. just too quick for it. Peeling off like the whip orange. Seen they effort, this piss poor. I got too much, I gotta tend to. Car payments and the rent due. Told y'all that I'm 6 foot, but with the money stabbing, I'm 10-2. Too much that I. Money in a black whip, got old problems with the friends new. Yeah, I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. Yeah, I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. Yeah, told him I'ma hit it out of stands. I deserve another 100 bands, I deserve another 100 fans. Told him this was always in the plans. I just did it cause they said I can. Blowing girls when I'm down in France. Labels asking how I build a brand. Told him put it up in my hands.
Oh. Alright, so we gotta do a little bit more work on the Mustang, especially when it comes to the starter, because I'm gonna pop the hood and show you guys. The signal wire that goes to the starter, the eBay one that was sent to me was like some like really low quality one, and I guess it melted and is now shorting. You can see this thing, it's just, yeah. It's all wrinkly and no good because it's shorting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace it. I'm going to run it a different way, as far away from the headers as I can, and that should fix everything. So yeah, I better get to work. So I don't remember if I showed what I did to like fix the reason why the car wasn't getting power. So this is before I fixed the like shorting issue, but what I did before was I had the power wire and the starter like main wire on this side, and I had this wire on this side. So all I had to do was I had to switch it to the other side. It's because right now this side will only get power from the ignition. This switch right here, this is from the ignition. So the ignition, when you have the key into the starting position, it opens up this solenoid and it brings power to this. So that's how the starter knows to start. Over here, this always gets 12 volts. So yeah. All right, so here's the new wire. This is the one to go on the like battery distribution post power thing in the engine bay. And then this side is to go on the starter. Here's how the eBay one looked. I mean, first off, it just feels cheap. And yeah, but it got burnt through and started shorting itself. So whenever you would put the car in ignition, it would be sending power through this and actually just shorting it. So yeah, luckily the starter still works. I was able to test that, but yeah, eBay wire. Also too short. This wire is too short. So I made sure to make this one like 1.5 feet longer, just so that I can easily route it better and like zip tie it to something. So yeah, I'm gonna install this and hopefully that's gonna be done when it comes to the starter. Shop dog. Anyway, progress is new wire is routed. Hopefully it won't melt off like the crappy one that the eBay one had, but yeah, goes through and to the starter.
It's a little low on coolant over here.
A little low on coolant?
A little bit.
Nah, I think Rex says it's fine.
Rex. Oh, what do you think? What do you think about the coolant?
See, that's why we can't paint this car.
I know.
Check it out.
Alright, so this is just gonna be the like ending scene of the video. Probably not gonna install the radiator in this episode just so I can get more episodes out of this car. But yeah, got the starter working. Fixed all the issues, runs great now. So yeah, here's the car. It's a 1984 GT350 Shelby 20th anniversary. I'll do a review another time. For now, that's all you're getting.